Now in the previous training video we learned how to open up the Windows calendar, and it gave us the default calendar, trainings calendar, which is your user login name, and then we created an additional one, so you want to watch that because now we want to create an appointment for one of these calendars here. The difference between an appointment and a task is that an appointment is a scheduled event or an appointment. You have a business meeting, where a task is goal-oriented, something you want to complete by a certain date or time, which could be an appointment, but again, two separate things here. So for my appointments, to schedule one, just click on New Appointment. It doesn't matter if you have the training calendar selected or the My To Do, because you can always come over here in the Details section and change the calendar here, which we'll do in just a second. So first when I added it, it adds the appointment to my calendar here in the center here. I'm viewing it by day. And then second over here, we've got the details about it, so it's not going to be a new appointment. Actually, this is supposed to be a meeting, so I'm going to go ahead and type over it. And then the location is going to be the boardroom. Now this could be on the My To Do calendar, which is, again, it's the same calendar, but it could be categorized as blue, which is My To Do, or green. See how it changes? Okay, let's go back to My To Do. Then the URL, which is a website address, so if this meeting is with Sarah from another company, I may want to keep track of her website, www.videotrainingpro.com. Down below you have the start and end dates and times for this appointment. You can make it an all-day appointment, which bumps it out from the times down below and puts it at the top of, well, in this case, today's date. All that means is that this day should be full, in theory, but it doesn't prevent you from scheduling other appointments, because maybe during this all-day appointment you have a lunch break and you want to be able to meet with somebody else for about an hour, okay? So it gives you that flexibility. I'm going to come back and uncheck that and be able to change my start dates and times. Click on the drop-down arrow and let's say it's going to be starting, well, next Friday, Friday the 13th. And instead at 12 a.m., that's not going to work. Let's do it at 12 p.m. So I can select the a.m., click on the down arrow, and it jumps down to p.m., okay? And then maybe I want to bump it down to 1 p.m. And if I want to get more particular with the minutes, you can use the up or down arrow or just type it in, 15, hit the tab key. So there's the start time. It begins at 1 p.m. or 1:15, more to the point. And then the end time, I can bump that up and down. The default is 1 hour, but I can make changes here. The other way I can do it is in the calendar here, scroll down, and you can actually click and drag this guy, move him up or move him down. You can even hover over the border and click and drag to give it more time by stretching it out, or click and drag and push it in. See my little up and down arrow, my two-way arrow. Once I see that, I can click and push it up or in here for more or less time. Now if this is something that's going to be recurring over and over again, like every Friday at this same time, then I can come over here and click on the reoccurrence arrow and say it's going to be a weekly thing. You can see it updates here on the appointment where it's got arrows circling itself, meaning that it's never ending, happening over and over again. And then finally, do I want a reminder? Click on the drop down arrow and say before this meeting starts at 2:30 p.m., just 15 minutes before, I would like a pop-up. Now it's going to say, do you want to change the series so it's not just this appointment, the first appointment of the range of occurrences that you have every Friday? Yeah, I want it to affect every Friday appointment with Sarah. I want a 15-minute reminder, and click change the whole series. Down below it adds an alarm clock, which tells me when I glance in this calendar here at the appointment that it's giving me a reminder, okay? Now to be able to view the reminder at what time and all the details, to bring up the details section, I have to actually click on the appointment here. For example, if I'm in the other calendar where there's no appointment scheduled here, you can see the details for this appointment disappears. All I can do is go off by the icons here that it has a reminder, it's reoccurring, until I actually click on it and it tells me the reminder's 15 minutes. Scrolling down on the right side in the details pane, you've got attendees you can click on to invite them, send them an email. I'm going to click cancel. And then any additional notes here that we want to add, what the meeting's about. Then once I'm done typing in my notes, once I hit the tab key or click off in a blank area, notice it adds the notes here. And again, that's very helpful because if I'm in another calendar and I see that there's a little note icon here, I want to come over here and select this actual appointment to read the notes, or at least before the meeting starts, so I know what's going on. Now quickly, let's do another appointment here and let's set a reminder so I can show you what the reminder looks like. Now you don't need your Windows calendar open to get a pop-up reminder. Because it's tied to Windows Vista, this calendar here, it'll actually pop it up on your own if you have the options set. For example, click on File, go down to Options. See where it says right here, reminders should show when Windows Calendar is not running? That means that you can close out of the calendar here, not have it running, just be logged in, and then when it gets 15 minutes close to your scheduled appointment here, it'll actually pull up the calendar here with the reminder saying, hey, your appointment's about to start in 15 minutes. So make sure that's checked. In fact, you can make other changes here. The day of the week starts on a Sunday. You can have it changed to Monday or Tuesday. The start of the work week's Monday. Notice the times. My business times are between 8 and 5. Do I want to play a sound for the reminders? If you have speakers hooked up, it'll give you a sound. Appointments, by default, when I schedule, will be an hour, or I can say every appointment I have is 2 hours, and so on. If I want to be able to have default reminders always added to every time I schedule an appointment, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, go ahead and select it. And then tasks we'll cover in the next training video. But a quick overview: when you complete a task, do you want a certain number of days before it's hidden? You could say never, or after 4 or 5 days after you complete it, go ahead and hide the task. If you want reminders on your task, and if the task is overdue, you haven't completed it yet, give yourself a red color here. In any case, we'll click OK and continue. And let me schedule another appointment. Click on New Appointment, adds it right here. And what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and leave that blank there. And what I want to do is to be able to set the time to today's date. So I'll change it back to the 5th today, because I want to show you what happens when you don't have the Windows program running, what it looks like to get a reminder. Now you can see down below in the right hand corner on my taskbar, I've got the time 10:56 on my computer, so I want to be able to change this to, let's do actually 11 here. I gotta work fast on this so I can time it just right, because I want to be able to set this. Let's do 00. Actually, it's going to be 0. Let's do 3 a.m. with a reminder of about 5 minutes before. Okay, so this appointment should pop up about 5 minutes before, which will be in a couple of minutes. After I have it set, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and close out of the program here, and then in a few minutes, and I'm not going to make you wait, but in a few minutes I'm going to show you what it looks like when it pops up, once it hits that appointed time with the reminder being 5 minutes ahead. And here we go. You can see it was closed and now it opened. It gives me the reminder here, the calendar. So all I have to do is look at it, and it's due in 4 minutes. It actually didn't pull right up at the very minute 5 minutes before, so give yourself a minute. When you say 15 minutes, it'll probably be more like 14, or 5 minutes will be 4 minutes. It takes it a second or two for it to finally understand what's going on here. You can go ahead and view the item, click on it, brings it over in the detail pane. You can dismiss it. Now that you have the reminder, you can snooze it for, I don't know, another 5 minutes or 15. I'll go ahead and dismiss it. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.